Hello everyone, welcome. In this tutorial presented by the SH House VB, we are going to calculate actually the mean. In the previous tutorial, we tried to arrange the series we've entered, the different series we entered, into an ordered series because of the definition of median. The median is defined as the middle value of the variables arranged in ordered series. So we initially started by converting the series that we enter into an ordered series. After converting, now we are going to find the middle value. Now, so the median location is found at this level, n plus 1 all over 2. So let's come back to our program. You have to know that the middle value, we said median is middle value of variable in an ordered series. So now the middle value will be located in this point, n plus 1 all over 2. This was the mean you've calculated in the initial program. Now this is the middle value. So now how do we calculate the middle value? Come back to code blocks. We now know that this variable, as we have printed initially, you see that this variable, this is going to contain the initial array, this array variable I, are going to contain the different values that we are going to enter in an ordered series. Now the array is going to have the values in an ordered series. So in order to find the middle location, the first thing we need to do is to create a new variable. So we are going to create a new variable called int location. No, it will be a floating type. No, int location. Now this is a new variable, int location. This is int location. Now, since we have int location, the location of our variable location will be equals to, now the location of the middle term is normally given by this formula. We have n plus 1 all divided by 2. It's normally given by this formula. But now we need to know that the nth term in our array is not n, because the array starts with the term with 0 inside. So the nth term of an array is instead n minus 1, and the first term of an array is instead is the 0th term. So what you need to put in mind is that at the place of this, so at the place of this n term, we are going to have instead n minus 1. N minus 1 plus 1 is going to have n. So the location actually in the program is going to be in n all over 1. So we have here n divided by 1, n divided by 2 instead. So now this is the location where the mean is going to be the this is the location where our median is going to be found. So when you have this location, now you say down here that the median you say printf, you print that on the screen. Move this, printf, write the brackets, you say the median is, now the median in this case, in order for you to calculate the median, I'm going to again create another variable. I'll create a variable called median. So when you want to create variable, it's always good to create variable at the top of your int main program at this point. So I'll create a new variable called median, which is going to contain the value. So it will be of type floating number. It's going to contain the number of variables. So I'll initialize it to 0 as such. Now when you have created the new variable, now I will say here that median, how do you calculate the median? I'll come down and show you how to calculate the median. So the median here will be equals to, so you have the location is at n all over 2. Now the median will be variable, and inside that variable I place location. Now this form of calculating the median will be effective only for odd number of variables, not for even numbers. So odd numbers of variables, when you have odd numbers, they are going to be calculated as such. So we continue the program by placing this. So the median is, then continue by placing, so that you know that the median. So when we have this, we are going to place now the value. Now median is stored in a floating point, so we are going to place it percentage f here, and comma, we place median as such. So the value median is going to come out and be shown to us. Now I want that the median should be on the next line, and it should be slightly aligned with others. So you have this. I compile, no relation to me, and then I run. So I have this program. So the total number of variable, let's say I have 4 variables. The first one is 1, then 4, then 2, then 3. Enter. I see the ordered series is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the median here is 3. It made an error and it didn't take the median in the middle point. So there are going to be slight modification that's supposed to be done on this program. So let's see what happens when we compile and run it. So when we compile and run it, we have the total number of variables. So you see that this program is not going to work very effectively. Either it's going to work effectively when it's going to be odd number of variables, and it's going to work effectively when it's going to be even number of variables. Let's try with first odd number of variables. Let's say we have 5. Total number of variables is 5. So we enter 1, enter 3, then enter 4, then enter 3, then enter 4. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 5 elements. Now when I do it, my ordered series is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and now you see the median is exactly 3 is 1. You see, is this 3 here in the middle? So you see that with odd number of terms, the median comes perfectly. But I want to arrange a little bit. I will shift this median on the next line. So what I'll do is that I'll just come here. If I want to shift this median on the next line, I'll just come here, and then I go on the next line as such. So this \n is used to go on the next line. So this is in case of odd numbers. Now let's try with even numbers. We compile and run. Even number of terms. When we have odd number of terms, see that it works effectively and gives you exactly 3. Now let's try with even number of terms. Let's say the even number of terms are 6. Now when we have this even number of terms, I have 1, I have 3, I have 4, I have 2, I have 1, I have 1, I have 7. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements. So I then go down, you see that it is ordered. You have 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Now the problem is that when you see this ordered series, the middle term is not 3. The middle term is found between 3 and 2.5. This is simply because upon doing this division, the value that is going to come out is going to have a decimal point of 0.5. When you divide a number with divided by 2, it's going to have a 0.5. And your program is going to consider that 0.5 as being a whole number, and it's going to take this number here, which is coming in front. So we need to arrange this such that we differ the differ the code of even numbers from odd numbers or odd number of variables. So let's see, in case of even numbers and odd number of variables, what will our program do? So we cancel this. I will come back to here. So now let's see. So now we write here, in case of odd number of variables. So in case of odd number of variables, what will happen? So we have this. In case of odd number of variables, what will happen? So now let's see. We will first start, because this we see that this statement work in case of odd number of variables. So we are going to take this printf and make sure that it should be down. We cut it from here and replace it down here. Paste. The printf will be down. So now, in case of odd number of variable, how will the median be calculated? We are going to now make sure that we put this case in, we put the case in of odd number of variable clear. So now, how do we consider the cases? We are going to consider the cases by using the if else statement. So now we have if. We're going to use if now. The first instance, if I do n, I want to make sure that when it's odd number, the odd number of when there are odd number of variables which are entered, or the nth, the total number of variable is odd. When the total number of variable is odd, what are we going to do? So I'm asking the machine to find if the total number of variables is odd or even by this statement. So I say if n like this divided by 2, or instead if n mod 2, because I would do the modulus is used in dividing and taking the remainder. So this is the modulus. The modulus is used in dividing and taking the remainder. If n mod 2 is not equals to, so not equals to is by a exclamation mark, equals to in the if sign is with is 2 equal sign. When you want to do the assignment of variables, when you want to enter a value inside a variable, you use only one equal sign. But when you want to compare in the if statement, you use 2 equal signs. So equals to 0, then you enter into this loop. So you see that this line verifies if the number is odd or even. You see that if n mod 2, what is n mod 2? N mod 2 is dividing the number by 2 and taking the remainder. When any value, let's say 3 is an odd number, 3 divided by 2 is going to produce a remainder which is 1. So, and 1 is not equals to 0, so it implies it's an odd number. Let's take 5. 5 divided by 2 is going to give a remainder which is 1, and 1 is not equals to 0, so it's going to enter this loop. So this loop is for odd numbers. So for odd numbers, I know that this initially instruction I initially did was working well for odd numbers, so I'm just going to cut it and then paste here. So this will work for odd numbers. Now I'll write again, if I place instead now, in this case, if, yeah, I'll write else if. So else if n, put here, so else if n mod 2 like this, n mod 2 equals to 0, then you enter and you consider it as even number. So this other case will be the case of even numbers. So in case of even numbers, you do this, the machine does this. So you have else if n mod 2 equals to 0, then enters into this loop. So what happens now? You see, let's say you have 4, the total number of terms is 4. 4 divided by 2, you have the remainder as being 0. 6 divided by 2, the remainder 0. 8 divided by 2, the remainder is 0. So this is effective for This is exactly effective for even numbers. So now for even numbers, what we will do, I'll say now that the median in case of even numbers initially had the location here. So location, I'll still use location. I copy and I come here and then I come and paste. Now the question is, how will I use the median? I realized that in my initial program I saw that the median was one term ahead of the true median. The median that it calculated was one term ahead of the true median. So what I will do is that I'm going to say that the median, the true median actually to calculate in case of even numbers will be equals to location, will be equals to median, the median at the position. So it is the variable at the position of median one term behind. So this variable I'll copy here and I come here and I paste. So this is one term behind minus 1, and then I do plus 1. I come here, do this, I do plus the variable, I come again, I paste, plus the variable at the location. So this is the location. We saw that in the initial case we had median being one term ahead because it was variable location. So what I'm trying to do now is that I'm going to do the variable plus the variable which is one term behind, and then I do all that divided by 2. All that divided by 2 as such, as an instruction. So in case of if the location, if it's an odd number, it's going to do this, and if it's an even number, it's going to do this. Now it's going to print the value of the median down here. Now when you always have the if and the else if, it's always good to place an else underneath. So if somebody is a nuisance, he can decide not to place the value of n as being 1 or 2. So when he places another value again, you can use a go to loop. Or you can insert printf. I can use a go to loop to refer it back to this instruction, enter total number of variables. I can either do it, so I can printf as such, printf, then I say the value entered is not true. Is not true for this program. So the value entered is not true for this program. Now when I write this, so somebody can decide, when I ask the question to somebody that enter, or to the user that enter the total number of variables, the user may enter 7.5, and 7.5 is not a discrete number. So since it's not a discrete number, I'll write to the user that the value entered is not true for this program because it's not involved with discrete number of variables, of discrete number, total number of variables. So now, and I can still refer him with the go to loop. I have the go to loop, I place loop here, and then I go back again and I'll ask him the same question. Yeah, so I place here loop. So in order to use the loop, the go to loop, you just write go to and then you have loop here. In order to use the go to loop, just write go to and then you write the loop that you want to go to, and then where you want to locate that loop, you just come above and you write loop, the name of the loop that you want to locate it. I want it to come back and to ask him the same question, printf, enter the total number of variables, and and scanf. It continues and it will go through again the same procedure as the program shows. So this is our program, so we can compile and run and see how it will show. So the first problem here is an error. So let's see, expected equals to token. So realize that a small error was done here, just because in order to write a not equals to, than equals to sign in the if loop, is written with a double equal sign. But when you want to write not equals to, it's not written with the double equals to sign, but a single equals to sign. When you do that, compile and run. Next problem is shown here. So the error has been shown here. You see that this one error, this is because when you see, if you visualize very well, you see that the else if statement here was not well spelled. In order to make sure that the statement have been well spelled, you see the color. Code block is showing you the color. If statement, the different expressions which are considered by the C program are in blue. Visualize it very well. It is in color blue. Now, when you visualize again it here, you see that it is color blue. It's well written, but here it's not well written, so you have to space it. That's why the error is shown. I'll compare, and no error is shown, 0 error, 0 warning, and all that. So you can run the program. So you stop it. So now you come back to our program. They tell you enter the total number of variables. Let's say I'm going to try again for even and odd numbers. I'll first try with even numbers. Let's say n equals to 5. So I'll enter the variable we wish to calculate the median. So the variables I wish to calculate the median, I will say 1, there is 3, there is 4, there is 2, there is 6. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. And the total number of variable is odd number. So this one is going to take with the first if loop. So the first if loop, so when the total number of variables is 5, this first if loop, this first if statement is going to be considered, and the value is going to proceed, the calculation of the median is going to proceed as such by this way. So you come here, you see that the median is 3.0 and it is correct. So now you test. The next thing is that I will test to calculate the median using when the total number of variable is odd numbers, when the total number is inside even numbers. So we have total number of variable, let's say 6. So I say enter the variables you wish to calculate the median. I want to calculate 2, 1, 3, 4, 5. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, and then 6 as such. So all the numbers, and I enter, you have 3.500. So this is actually what I wanted. Now you see that in this case, what the program is going to do is that if you visualize very well, you are going to realize that I asked the program, because initially I've seen that when the variable location was one term ahead of the variable, so of the median, the variable location was one term ahead of the median. So what I decided to do was to go and calculate between the 2 points. So at the initial point, the value came out 4.0. So what I do is that I take this 4.0 by taking variable location here. I add this variable location here plus the variable location minus 1, this position. And when I have this position here, I have the total of 7, and then I divide all through by 2. So the median will be located between them. So from here, we are going to say thanks for your kind attention, and I hope that this program is going to serve you. So, and I also hope that you subscribe for the channel Science Video Makers. Thanks for your kind attention.